In other words, it's not just about football. It's got to be about inspiring the team or inspiring the school or inspiring the community. It's got to be bigger than just winning a championship. There's got to be coaches in your life. There's got to be people that have already gone through the struggles you're going through.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode, number 739, Stop Running from Your Problems. Today, for episode number 740, it is Strategic Saturday, the keys to lasting motivation.
All right, so context. Shout out to Brandon on the NLU team. He and I were on the phone, and he asked me an awesome question. He always comes with great questions.
What did he say? How is Kevin so much more jacked than you?
That's exactly what he asked.
Question,
and
brother.
I said, he's not. No, I'm kidding. So he asked this question. He said, I last time we were on the phone, you talked to me about when were you the last on point, and I thought a lot about it. And he said, it was when I was in football in high school. And he's like, I just want to understand, like, why was I so motivated back then? Like, what was it that did that? How do I get back there? That was his question. And I said, and I pulled up a whiteboard on Zoom, and I just went through this framework. And then later he asked me, like, how do you know this? And I said, honestly, Brandon, this is how we've designed the NLU team. So the first one, so if you're out there right now, why is this valuable for you? Strategic Saturday. If you want to be the most motivated version of yourself, believe it or not, there's a way to design your life around that. And there's a lot of neuroscience, and we're not going to go heavy into that because this is a shorter episode. But these are the basic fundamentals of how to be the most motivated version of yourself. Number one is you have to have clear, specific goals. When Brandon was in football in high school, remember, it's set up that way. There's a clear goal, win a championship. Okay, and I'm going to ask Kevin on each of these. Okay, so what is a clear, specific goal that you currently have in your life right now?
So I will preface this with I have been breaking things into 90-day goals.
Awesome.
Quarterly goals. I think that works really well for me. So for me, it was 5 new clients over the 90 days.
In Next Level Podcast Solutions.
Which in retrospect was probably short.
Yes.
Low number.
Okay, so you overshot that.
I think I undershot it.
Oh, yeah. In terms of setting the goal, but
Yeah,
you beat the goal.
In 90 days, we'll definitely beat that goal, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is public accountability, which is AKA consistent benchmarking. So in football, every single Saturday or whatever Sunday, they have a game.
God, you're so out of touch.
Is it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah. Every Sunday they had a game where they got to benchmark whether or not they were succeeding or failing at the goal, AKA a championship. And so every sports team is set up this way, by the way, for the most part. All right, so Kev, in the NLU team, how do we stay publicly accountable?
We have our public PPT, so our peak performance tracking is capable of being seen by anybody on the team. I just got to click on Amy's name. I can see exactly how she's doing, her percentages, and everybody can see Alan and myself. And then also in group coaching, we have the entire group. All of their PPT is accessible to the other members of the team, and they can see Alan's and myself's also.
We have group coaching tomorrow. I just remember
We have group coaching on Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
Wednesday. Oh, no, yeah,
tomorrow.
Sorry. It's Monday when we're recording this.
Johanna, shout out to Johanna. We were at the Fix yesterday. Amy and her got dinner, and I just came by to say hi. And she's like, I'll see you tomorrow. Or no, I'll see you Tuesday. And I was like, I looked at my watch. I'm like, wait, what?
And we're also going to see her Thursday
she's like,
we're going to speak to the students.
I know, it's awesome.
On podcast.
I was like, wow, she knows my schedule better than I do. All right, next. So far you've got clear, specific goals. You've got public accountability, a.k.a. measurement as well, consistent benchmarking. And then you've got connected to a team of like-minded people that are working toward a similar goal. So, again, on a football team with Brandon in this analogy, they all have a common goal. They all want to get better at football. They all want to do better in their position. They all want to win a championship. And on the NLU team, we have the same type of thing. Everyone has the similar goals to improve themselves, health, wealth, and love. And we all also have goals. So we're broken up into champions. So, for example, Crystal is the champion of online marketing and branding. Kevin's the champion of Next Level U, the podcast specifically. I'm the champion of long-term vision and strategic development, team development. So we all have sort of our lane, but we're all working towards similar and common goals. I was going to ask Kevin, but I already answered it. Mm-hmm. Next, some form of an established hierarchy with growth opportunities. In other words, there's room to grow. I remember when Amy first said that basically she wants to be on the NLU team forever. It was awesome, and I said I honestly thought that would happen. I'm super grateful. Let's make sure that we are fostering and developing your growth on the team so that you can be here long term. Because no one wants to stay at the same level forever. I remember when I first got my very first job, it wasn't my first job, but one of my first jobs, I was a cart kid and a busboy, and if I had stayed there, I would have been very unfulfilled. And so there has to be some sort of growth trajectory, and that's why they have JV and varsity. Also, Brandon, shout out to Brandon, he ended up being the captain of the team. And so there was opportunities for growth. And there's some form of a hierarchy. Obviously, the head coach, and then you've got assistant coaches, and then you've got the captain of the team, and then you've got different positions and stuff like that. And again, this is how to stay the most motivated version of yourself.
You need these things. You need these things in your life.
Yes, if you want to be the most motivated version of yourself. All right. Now, you have to also be connected to something beyond the team, the future, the bigger picture. In other words, it's not just about football. It's got to be about inspiring the team or inspiring the school or inspiring the community. It's got to be bigger than just winning a championship. And so, Kev, regarding the vision of the NLU?
It's just the mission of bringing self-improvement, holistic self-improvement to every person every day for free. We will be on your cell phone in your pocket every single day, no matter where you are in the world, no matter how much money you have. If you have an internet connection, you can listen to us every day for free.
And that's what Kevin and I needed if you want to go one layer deeper, too. It needs to be deeply meaningful to you personally based on suffering. And that's another whole nother story. Now, this one is underdog mentality. Underdog mentality means people, it's almost like you have a chip on your shoulder, like something to prove. And either prove it to yourself, prove it to your siblings, prove it to your parents, prove it to the people who shit on you or hated on you. You got to have some form of an underdog mentality. What I mean by that is, in movies, there's so much. Everybody loves an underdog. You know, it's like Rocky, right? Rocky was the underdog
Huge
against
Apollo Creed.
And
everybody else.
Okay. Next is a competitive environment. There has to be some level of competition. Again, with Brandon football, obviously football is super competitive. Okay, on the NLU team, we also compete. There's commissions, and everybody has their commissions for everyone else to see. So there's a little bit of a competitive nature. There's also peak performance tracking, where we actually showcase the winner each week of who got the best score. And we actually have everybody's stats lined up in a single spreadsheet where we can see who's doing the best.
And also, when we are doing, we're doing Next Level Live February 19th, we will be having a competition to see who can get rejected the most. So there will be a competitive nature there. If you get rejected the most, you'll get a gift card to Amazon or Target or whatever for X amount of dollars. So.
Exactly. Amy won that last time.
Yes.
Then you've got the next piece here. So again, just to reiterate for those of you out there, clear specific goals, public accountability and measurement, connected to a team of like-minded people working toward a similar goal, some form of an established hierarchy and growth opportunities. You have to be connected to something bigger than you. It needs to be bigger than you. Some form of an underdog mentality, a competitive environment. Next is coaching, leadership, and guidance. There's got to be coaches in your life. There's got to be people that have already gone through the struggles you're going through.
Hi, my name is David London, and I'm the host of the Deskbound Therapy podcast. I've been working with Alan and Kevin for the last 2 months with both business coaching and podcast coaching, and I've seen tremendous value and growth, not only in my business, but in my personal life and in my relationships, because their coaching has taught me to focus on so much more than just the business itself. It's really helped me level up, and every time things are going well, they really continually push me to reach the next level, and I definitely recommend working with them. They're such great people to work together. I have both met them personally, in person at a live event, and gotten the opportunity to work with them closely online and communicate with them. And I listen to the podcast every day, so I definitely recommend checking out the podcast. Check out their business coaching or their, even just life coaching if you want to level up your mindset and your game and just be happier and healthier. Definitely recommend both Alan and Kevin at Next Level University.
So for example, imagine an NBA coach who never played basketball. It's not going to be as meaningful as someone who's done it. And so if you're a client of Kevin and I's, for example, Kevin coaches people on podcasting. He's most likely not coaching anyone who's ahead of us in podcasting. He's coaching people that he's already been through the journey that they're struggling with right now. And so there's got to be some form of guidance, leadership, and coaching in your life. If you don't have mentors, if you don't have coaches, if you don't have leaders, for us, we've got David Meltzer, Evan Carmichael, Nick Cavuto. We've got a lot of people in our corner, and I can keep going. And if we didn't have them, there's no way we'd be where we are today. So Next, you feel like you have a deep spiritual responsibility to serve in this unique way. There has to be a deep, and this goes back to kind of what I said earlier of like, it usually, your mission comes from your pain, your deepest pain. Kevin says that often.
That's from Evan Carmichael. Your purpose comes from your deepest pain.
Yeah.
Can't take credit, but.
And so we didn't have a lot of self-improvement around us growing up. We didn't have fathers. And so now part of our mission is to be mentors and good character-driven role models, especially for young males. And that's why we started Next Level Hope Foundation. And Next Level Hope Foundation is connected to Next Level You. The more Next Level You succeeds, the more the Next Level Hope Foundation succeeds. And that's where we're going to have rented out rec centers, and we're going to host events every Father's Day, because Father's Day was always a painful day for us, and we want to make that a special day for boys without fathers. And so, again, you're seeing that we've designed a life around what motivates us most, and that's the point of this episode, Strategic Saturday. We need you to design a life that motivates you. Next is a collaborative environment. Collaborative environment, again, Brandon, shout out. On football team, it's like you've got the tight end, and you've got the quarterback, and you've got the line, and then you've got the running backs. Like, you have to collaborate. If you don't collaborate well, you're not going to succeed. On the NLU team, we all collaborate constantly. We have team huddles every week. I coach everyone on the team. Kevin's working with Sarah, and I'm working with Amy, and now we're working together. We've got a web team, and we've got a marketing team, and we've got all these subgroups, and we've got a production team and the podcast. So it's a very collaborative environment. I think we're farther on the collaborative side than the competitive side, and honestly, I think we're trying to balance that out a little bit just so we can stay more motivated. Now, this last one, Kevin and I disagreed with, which I love.
We fought about it.
Physical altercation. Wow. Whoa.
Damn.
And I won. No, I'm kidding. So this one, it depends. If you have low self-belief and low self-worth, this one's not going to resonate. Haters don't think you can do it and openly express that. Now, not to air out Brandon or his family, but I guess his grandfather had said, like, there's no way. You're too small. You're too small to play football. You're too small to be the captain of the team. That fired Brandon up. And I told Brandon, that's why you were level 10 motivated. That last one of like him telling you can't do it and you saying, F that, I'm going to do it, to prove him wrong, I'm telling you, that's another layer of motivation. Now, Brandon does have self-belief. Obviously, he had self-belief in that case. So if this doesn't resonate, Kevin has an alternative for you.
Yeah, I think it's finding people who lift you up. I think if you have people who lift you up and show you what possibilities are out there for you, I think that's what Alan did for me. If Alan came in my life and said, hey, I hate you and there's no way you're going to be a successful podcaster, I don't know that I would have kept going. But I think having somebody that openly supports you and puts wind into your sails is extremely important for you and your motivation. And story about this real quick. I know we want to hop off here in a minute, but when I was 9 years old, I was going into Little League. And I was not large. I was very small. Like I don't know how tall I was. I was probably like 5'1", 120 pounds maybe. I don't know. I wasn't big. But I remember that there was this coach. His name was Alan Ashcraft. And him and I actually became friends after this. But he didn't choose me. He had the opportunity to choose me. One of the first picks, I think, and he actually chose one of my friends because he was bigger. He was just a lot bigger than I was, and he thought he was like a home run hitter, and he ended up being a good baseball player. But I ended up, every time we played him, I always had really good games. Like the first Grand Slam I ever hit was against him. I hit multiple home runs against him, and that's why him and I became pretty friendly, because it was just like a running joke of like, hey, you could have picked me.
How good does a Grand Slam feel?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was standing behind the fence behind the backstop, and she said, if you hit a home run, I'll give you $100. This is why I love money. And then the next pitch, I hit a grand slam, and it was like, oh my God,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's actually the next motivator is $100. No,
I think money is
a motivator.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's
got to be profitability involved. Yeah, that's a good point.
It might not be like a necessary, but I think it helps.
Mastery is a motivator. Money's a motivator. Love's a motivator.
Yeah.
Brandon, in the context of this, he's like, I don't understand, like, how do you know all this? And I said, that's actually how we designed group coaching. That's how Kevin and I have designed our life. That's how we've designed the team.
I feel like you get most of the credit for this.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'd like to steal it, but I just don't feel due.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think it's important to see, a lot of people think that motivation is something that you have or you don't.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. And there's so many great books about this. The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. The Culture Code, also Daniel Coyle. Peak Performance, I know you're reading that.
Yes.
There's a lot
read
of
that.
factors that need to be at play. So, for example, like Gronk's whole family, great at football, right?
Great at sports.
Great at sports. Athletics was a cultural thing for them in their family, right? And there's a lot of chess prodigies that were little kids playing chess, and they played against their siblings. And so just understand, if you're out there and you don't feel motivated, reach out, especially when it comes to group coaching. You got to get in our next group. Dude, Pursuit of Excellence is our group 4. So we have 4 groups, and the first 3 already graduated. But group 4 is on fire.
Crushing it.
And it's the group. The group is more powerful than the individual. NLU team, every single person on the NLU team does peak performance tracking, tracks their habits. If you took 1,000 people on the globe and put them in a room, how many of them track their habits? Probably none. If you took the NLU team and put them in a room, there's not a single person who doesn't. Just understand the power of that community and these factors.
You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for a coach, a leader, or guidance when it comes to starting your podcast, please reach out to me. If you have one and you want to grow it, monetize it, scale it, we are actually getting ready to cross $250,000 revenue through Next Level University. So I can definitely help you with that, as can Alan if you are looking to grow your business. He has been instrumental in growing ours. Alan is doing the peak performance business as well as lifestyle design. No matter where you are, there is a next level for you, and we can help you get there with some level of our coaching.
This is the Next Level Motivation Framework. If you resonated with this and you want to design your life around motivation, reach out. I'll send it to you. This is a great framework, and it'll help you a lot, and it can help you assess from 0 to 10 how well you've designed your life to be the most motivated version of yourself. Reach out. I would be happy to send it to you. We have an amazing team member who does awesome digital assets with all of our frameworks.
Yes, and all of the stuff you need is in the show notes. You can,
yes,
our emails are there. I think our Instagram handles, all that happy jazz. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we love you. We appreciate you. And we don't have fans.
Nope.
I don't know if you know that or not. I think I've
By the way,
the
framework is free.
The framework is free.
Free 99.
Free 99. As always, we don't have fans. We have family. I'm not sure who the guest is tomorrow. I think it's going to be Ashley Stahl, but we have 3 or 4 interviews this week. So you'll see who it is tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a custom intro for this one because we haven't done that since like 1912.
Okay, sounds good.
We don't have fans. We have family. Talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.